For 10 years, we have been waiting for this movie to come out. 10 long years. And this movie has finally arrived. At last. Hey guys, Logan here, and today I'm here to give you guys my review for a movie I went to see last night, Avengers Infinity War. Probably the most anticipated movie of the year so far. This is like most people's number one most anticipated film of 2018, and it certainly was my number one most anticipated movie of 2018. So there was much hype for this movie coming out of this year, and this was like the biggest event movie in the last maybe a decade or so. I cannot really tell you what this whole plot synopsis for this movie is about because it's really spoilery, and I don't want to give any plot details away for you guys that have not seen it yet. The simplest and easy way to give you an idea of what this story is about is basically Thanos is on his quest to retrieve all 6 Infinity Stones, and while the Avengers were getting in the way to stop Thanos from accomplishing his ultimate goal, retrieve all 6 Infinity Stones and put them in his Infinity Gauntlet, so that he can snap the entire universe with a snap of his fingers. Like I said just a few seconds ago, this was one of the most anticipated movies of the year. Everybody was like anticipating to see this movie, and I was one of them. This is like the culmination of the first 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The last 18 films, I believe. This is the 19th one, if I remember correctly, so it was pretty cool. Although 19 films we've got in the last 10 years. That's crazy. And what do I really think about this movie overall? Well, before I get into that, I want to, instead of actually get into what I thought about this movie very quickly, I want to give you my backstory as to why this review took so long. And why I didn't upload it very early on today. I saw this movie late last night, just a Thursday night showing for this movie, and it was getting so. And the first reason, it was getting so late, and I was getting too tired to do a review for it. So I was waiting to do it for today, and then after I woke up. And this leading to my second reason, I woke up this morning and I thought more about this movie, just doing a thought process for this movie before I could even legitimately do a review for it, because lots of things have happened in this movie. Lots and lots of things happen. And the first impressions I've got for this movie is wow. Just utter wow. This movie left me speechless after I walked out of the theater for this movie last night. It really left me speechless after what I just watched. I just could not believe what I just watched last night. It was just that. Yeah. Let's get more into that. So, what about the story? Without giving away too much, it was pretty good. I really like the story for this movie. It kind of does feel like more than just one story. Kind of like, I don't want to give away, but there were like much more than just one storyline for this movie. But it didn't really, I don't know what the word is for it. It didn't really come across as, repetitive and more. It didn't feel like it multiplied too much to, feel like a 1,000-page long book to help you understand the story. It didn't feel like that. And the character interactions with a few superheroes, the Guardians, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Avengers, every single superhero that has a interaction with one another is really, really spot on. Every single one of them did not outshine each other. They were just outstanding on their own. Just being a part of this movie, which was directed by the Russo Brothers, who gave us Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Civil War. 2 Captain America movies that were epic, by the way. The way that the Russo Brothers did in this film, because this film is like gigantic. With the casting choices and the number of casting choices and everything else in this movie. It's kind of easy for a movie to be so big enough to actually, fall apart and just be all, convoluted and very messy and all that other stuff. What I thought the Russo brothers did was unfathomable. Is that a word? I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but it was mind-blowing the way they did with this film. Not just directing it, just everything they did. It's just, I honestly was speechless at how they pulled it off with this movie, just based on how big this film was and how, so rare to be this big of a film, and just how they pull it off is beyond me. But I just gotta give congrats to the Russo brothers for pulling off such a exceptionally great job of putting everything together in this movie. So I got on too long about what the Russo brothers did, and I apologize, but let's move on to other things, such as Thanos. Yes, the Mad Titan that we've been looking forward to see going up against the Avengers in this film. And how was he? Well, he was really cool. I really, really like Thanos. And I really thought Josh Brolin did an outstanding job as Thanos. He's much more than just a bad guy who wants to destroy everything for the sake of wanting to destroy everything and kill everyone that some superhero knows. He's not just that. There's much more depth. There's much more story. There's much more to his character than that. And I thought that Josh Brolin pulled off his performance as Thanos, and his character was very interesting. There were some moments where the CGI on Thanos didn't really look all good. Some of them kind of made Thanos look a little bit cartoony, but other than that, he looks intimidating. Just not just what he said or did, but it was who he is that made him intimidating. The humor in this film was pretty minimum, but when it was there when it needed to be. And it was, for the most part, very good, as well as the action, which was some of the best I've ever seen in a Marvel film. Yes, even better than the action in the Avengers and Captain America Civil War. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. I could not find a single action scene in this movie that was really forgettable or just pretty bland. There is none of that. Every action scene was very, very, the action in this film was really top notch. And I gotta say, this movie was really fast paced. There was not a single dull moment within this film, despite this film's long ass runtime, which is over 2.5 hours long. Maybe 2 hours and 40 something minutes long, which is really insane. It's like Marvel's longest cinematic film ever made. And the CGI for the most part looked very good, although, like I said before about the CGI on Thanos, at certain points, some of the CG didn't look all good, and some of the CG I feel like could have been done better. Some of them seemed like they weren't even finished, or at least didn't really look all great. That was one of my issues with the film. the CGI sometimes didn't look good. Now, with all of that being said, let's talk about at least one of the issues I have with this film. Besides the CGI that sometimes didn't look all good and kind of look a little bit cartoony, especially some of those CGI moments with Thanos that didn't look good on him. My other issue with it is that some of the characters in this film were very underutilized. I'm not going to mention the names for some of the characters, but I will say that some of them were very, very underutilized. They weren't given enough, I don't know what the word is for it, like given enough depth and abilities, or just plain old, I don't know what the word is for it, enough stuff to do, or enough whatever it is, or whatever there is to make them relevant, just doing something that makes them relevant to be a part of this movie. Like I said, I'm not going to mention names, but they were just underutilized in my opinion. But beyond that, this movie was really, really good. It took me almost a day to think more about it, and just think very clearly about what I'm about to give this movie, which I will get into in a sec. This movie took me almost a day to think about it, and just actually thought more about it, about what I like and didn't like about this movie, because this is not a perfect film by any means. Although it was a nearly perfect film, and I think I said this earlier, but if I didn't, then I'll say this right here. This was like the riskiest movie that Marvel Studios has ever made. I don't think I ever find one Marvel film, probably except Guardians of the Galaxy, that was legitimately a risk taker, just based on certain things that happened, because there were like some twists and turns that you didn't know were going to happen. I mean, there was only one twist/turn that I kind of knew was coming. It was pretty predictable. I'm not going to spoil it though, but there was like one moment that you might not know that it was coming, but I kind of knew it was coming. It was pretty predictable to me. But other than that, this film, almost everything worked in this film. The Russo Brothers put in their own filmmaking style from what they did with the Captain America movies, The Winter Soldier and Civil War, and bring their own style from those two films and bring them to this movie, and while also add new things to it and put more development and interactions with the characters that you normally wouldn't see in a Marvel film, which I thought they pulled off very, very well. I am going to give Avengers Infinity War a gold Medal of Honor. Like I said, this movie literally took me almost a day to think about it more often after walking out of the theater to see this movie. It really did, because I was speechless. Like I didn't know what to think about this, what to say about this movie without thinking about it. And for the past almost half a day, or over half a day, I really thought about it, and I came to the conclusion that even though it's not really a perfect film, it's definitely a hell of a film to watch. And I feel like a gold Medal of Honor is a worthy Medal of Honor to give this film, at least in my personal opinion. So anyway, guys, that is my review for Avengers Infinity War. My next review in my MCU series is going to be for Thor: The Dark World, and it will be up on May 6th, I believe. So mark your calendar on that date for my review for Thor: The Dark World. So anyway, guys, that is about it for now. If you guys enjoyed my review, please click the like button and comment down below if you have seen this movie and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.